Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Attic Retrospective with me, Matt, the Who editor. Uh, Obviously, as you can tell, this is a live stream. I did actually organize an event happening, but for some reason, I have no idea how to actually get onto the video chat, which actually does the live thing. So I had to restart the whole thing. So basically, if you're on the link I sent before, um, just leave a message and I'll try and send you the link. As you can tell by the title, this is a live look back on the Attic Convention in Cardiff, which was on the 29th of July. For those of you who don't know, since this was a 10th anniversary year for the Sarah Jane Adventures, which started in 2007, there was a charity event hosting a reunion down at Cardiff, which featured the cast and crew, everyone who worked on the Sarah Jane Adventures, writers, the actors, the props, the costumes, everything. They were to come down to meet everyone together, including some special guests, and they were to basically show their respect and how much they enjoyed loving the show. And same reason we fans all came around, but also was to raise money for the charity of Tear Havon, who organised this event. This is basically my look back on that event. So basically, how I found out, it was basically around the end of last year. It was around New Year. I got like I managed to find I just got like a notification saying that there was a sort of event going on. They were holding this event. Tommy Knight did a video, a little introduction video. So obviously, I asked a friend of mine, Sam Lloyd, as everyone knows him as UDWF1. I asked him if he was going. He said yes. So I organised a ticket, and as you can tell, I was really excited about this because I'm pretty sure there were some fans who were really interested in this this event, because obviously anyone who watches the Sarah Jane Adventures also watched Doctor Who as well as some other shows, but this was different because with Doctor Who we had like time travel, we had space, we had monsters we never fought, we had really good effects. Well, with Torchwood we had, well, it's basically a R-rated alien team in Cardiff. With Sarah Jane, it's just basically your everyday, just basically your everyday life. But if you turn up to this one place in Bannerman Road, it's not. It's really not what you expect. I'm just rambling here. Sorry. This is obviously unscripted. But obviously, what really held this show together was the actress Elizabeth Sladen, who passed away in 2011 before they released the first half of Series 5, which then became the full series of Series 5. So this was like a sort of tribute and memory of everything that this wonderful person did, and this was a really nice event. Just everyone was looking forward to, fans, YouTubers, Epic Who, everyone got involved. So obviously, I just thought, why not? Okay, so anyway, I guess I should really talk about first off is the arrival, or as I like to call the introduction. So basically, me and a friend of mine, we got there, and well, obviously when we got there, because obviously we had like a little map saying where to go, it was kind of hard because I mean, I don't think any of us went to the student union. We walked past it. We knew where it was. We just didn't know where we had to enter. So we basically had to go around, and then we knew where the entrance was when we saw at the front the TARDIS, well, a model of a TARDIS, and Sarah Jane's car. And I was like, oh my God, it was the actual car. And it was really nice, sweet, because I had that was actually the second time I saw the car in real life, because the first time I saw it was around the it was a studio tour which I had going forward for Children in Need, and Sarah Jane's car was one of them. It was actually in front of the line, but this was really special because, well, obviously it's the Sarah Jane Adventures, but also not only was there a car there, the TARDIS was there, K9 was there, so obviously we had to take we obviously took photographs of the model. I was almost tempted just to kneel down in Sarah Jane's position in her promo picture when she was kneeling next to K9, but obviously I'm guessing we weren't allowed to touch the props, so that didn't happen. But anyway, we walked in. Hundreds of people were there. Well, not when we first turned up. When we got there, we saw like a few people. We got to the entrance. There was a queue, and they gave us this folder. They gave us a nice folder with the program, the schedule, just everything we needed. And this was really a little shock. I mean, we got there, and then next minute we see this shan sheaf at the door, and it was, well, I don't know who designed that costume, whether it was the real thing or it was a fan-made costume, but whoever did that costume is a freaking genius, because that is probably one of the best costumes we've seen in the entire show. I mean, I know they showed like props and parts of the Trickster's outfit and all that. Oops, spoiler alert. But obviously that was a really nice treat. Obviously, I took a selfie. Anyway, I'm sort of rambling on. But basically, I might do another video, maybe with this record, or maybe a proper scripted recording, and it would also include photographs that were on my phone of what happened there. But anyway, so I thought the way I should talk about this is with this schedule, because I've got the schedule right in front of me, so I'm just going to talk about it. So basically, when we got there wasn't that many people when we arrived, because we were thinking, is this the right place, or is everyone late? But then we got like someone from the staff was saying, could you all please come downstairs? And we got downstairs into this big hall, and obviously the main cast were there, and it was hundreds of people. We were like, oh my God, we did not know this was going on. So obviously, as they were still chatting, there was like half of us arriving just to take a seat to watch. What we had, it was basically an introduction, introducing all the casts, all the crew, just all the special guests. So yeah, they had Tommy Knight, who played Luke Smith, Sinead Michael, who played Sky, they had Yasmin Page, who played Maria, they had Anjali Mohindra, who plays Ronnie. No sign of Clyde. Oh my God! Because some of us we might have thought that, well, Clyde must have been running late, but then Christopher Johnson. Now this was a big surprise. Christopher Johnson, the CBBC children's television presenter, was hosting this event. That was, oh my God! You're that moment when when you're sitting there, you've seen this person on television. And you see me, you're like, oh my God, you're that guy off the tape. It was kind of like that, but I wasn't like, oh my God, fanboy. Because I would say, well, not many of us knew Christopher Johnson, but it was still great to see he was hosting this event. Anyway, Daniel Anthony wasn't there because, from what we heard, he had some filming commitments. But unless some of you know, a couple of days after the event, they went down to see Daniel Anthony. They must have got autographs from him, but obviously you can tell a lot of people came down just to see him. But I'm sorry, I just came here to see all the team. It's not just Daniel Anthony. I came here to see all the team. And obviously we just sat down. They were having a talk about what they loved about the show. And then all these other guests came in. We had, here's a guest list. We had Meena Manwa, who plays Gita Chandra. We had Katie Manning, who plays Joe Grant, Paul McDavis, the Trickster, Richard Whisker, who plays George. We had some Cheryl Rowlands, who played one of the nuns, Phil Ford, Joe Litz, Sam. They were both writers. Sam Watts, the composer, just basically everyone. And then they did say there was a special guest appearance. So I was like, oh my, okay. I wonder who's the special guest. And then next minute, what do we see? We see a little canine just run around the floor. And then we see K9 himself, John Leeson, walking. So obviously there was like a lot of cheering. And even Sam was like, oh my God, that's him, that's K9. So so yeah, that was a real treat. And just to see all those guests all in that little area was just unbelievable. It's amazing to see how many people has Elizabeth Sladen, has just Sarah Jane herself has touched the hearts of so many people. So yeah, they obviously introduced us to the event. So then, as the schedule was set up, they had like a sort of structure. Like at one moment, they've got autographs being signed, they've got people getting photographs with some of the guests, and then they have this little panel chat which they normally do. So obviously the first thing on the list was, of course, group picture with all the kids. So obviously I had to be there. I couldn't miss this out because I paid for those photos. I paid for those photos. So obviously I went down. Not down. I went upstairs into the room. It was like a little photo studio, and it was a huge queue. So it was a very long queue. You thought the autographs lines were cute, but I'll get to that later. But anyway, so anyway, I was, obviously I was in the line. I was waiting. But in the back of my head, I was thinking myself, I'm sure I've forgotten something. I'm pretty sure I've forgotten something because a couple of days before the event, I had an email saying your order for this has been shipped. So I was thinking to myself, oh, hang on, was I supposed to receive something from the mail? So so I was a bit unsure. So anyway, but anyway, I was in the line. There was all these people, and I noticed they were holding these little tokens. They were like holding tokens, and I was thinking to myself, hang on. So I asked the person next to me, and I asked, "Can I? Where did you get that?" And they said, "Oh, it was in the envelopes." And obviously, obviously, I had the envelope in my hand, but then they said it's in the envelope, and I was looking through my envelope. I was thinking to myself, "Oh my god, I think I've lost it, or they didn't put it in. I'm doomed." but then I found this little tiny envelope which was inside the big envelope, and they had the token. I was like, "Oh my god, that was a close one." So obviously, it took a very long wait just to get into that photo. It's all new, but I did come across some interesting people. I mean, I think one I should really point out. There was this couple, and one of them is called Wendy Smith, and they were cosplaying as David Tennant Doctor and Sarah Jane Smith. And Wendy's cosplay of Sarah Jane is almost like the spitting image of Elizabeth Lane. I didn't get a photo of her, which is a shame, but it was just so weird. I mean, because I mean, you've watched Sarah Jane for a long time, and just to see the spitting image of her right in front of you, even though that she's gone, it's just unbelievable. Wendy Smith, if you are watching this, you should get a job. If there's like a theme park of Doctor Who or Sarah Jane coming up, you should cosplay as Sarah Jane. I'm pretty sure they'll pay you properly. But anyway, this is getting weird. But obviously, I got my photo. If you've been following me on Twitter or Facebook, you might have seen the photo of me with the gang together, and they're such nice people. Tommy Knight is, he's definitely someone you'd really want to hang out with. He was quite nice. Yasmin Page was she was such a laugh. Not to be mean or anything, but she really was such a laugh, but not in a bad way. She was like one of those people, not just one of those. If you're playing the game and there's someone who's always screwing up, who's doing badly, but you're laughing with her, you're not laughing at her. That's what she was like. She was fun. Sinead Michael. Wow, she's definitely changed from Skye. Because if you've watched her portray as Skye, you might have noticed that she was kind of bland in her acting. But I mean, you can't blame her. She was about 8, and then just to see her, it was just oh my god, she's definitely changed. I'm not gonna go into it. And then you have Angelia Mahindra, and she's probably like the most likable, sweetest person out in the group. Just everywhere you go, she smiles. She just smiles. So, and it was really nice just to get together. And this is what really got me, because before I actually came to the event, I was thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure one of those kids is taller, because I know Angela was taller than Sarah J. Luke and Tommy was slightly maybe less taller than Angela, but then I get it, and then I'm in the photo and I realize they're about the same height as me. It's just it was so weird, because I thought at least one of them would be taller than me, but no, apparently the same height. It's just weird, but I'm sorry. This is awful. Sorry. I'm sorry. But obviously it was really nice. It wasn't like meet each other and we're all best friends. Not like Tom Dix. No, sorry. It wasn't like that. It was just more like, "Hi, what's your name?" "Matt." "Hey, Matt. Okay, getting the photo. Yeah, kind of Kuchin. Here's a photo. Thank you so much." And then, well, before I left, I gave like a little bow, just nice that, and I just said, I just walked off and joined my friend Sam. That's it. And so, obviously, so yeah, it was a nice couple of minutes while it lasted. Okay, yes. Now, so obviously, at the same time, they were like holding autographs for these, for the people, and there were such big lines. And speaking of which, one of the questions I released a video on my channel saying, if you have any questions, please leave them here. The question I've got from Oliver Lindsay. Hey, Oliver. Okay, he asked a question: whose autograph did you get, and what was the longest queue you had to wait? And someone left a reply. It was obviously Kate Mannings and Anjali Mohindra. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Here's the thing. I'm not really a person who's really into autographs. I'm more like, I mean, I used to when I was a kid, like when you're in Disneyland, you want to get the autograph of the character or person. But now I'm more like, go up to the person, say hi, have a little talk, take a selfie or a photograph, and then just end it there. So I was more like getting the photograph of the person and then just have a little chat, because when I see celebrities, I don't want to go run up to them like fanboy. I don't want to go up to them and say, I'm your biggest fan of that. I just, because I'm 21 now. I'm more like the person who's, you see a person you recognize, you just go up to them and say, "Hi, how you doing?" And then, just have like a normal chat. It's just like a normal chat. This wasn't like this. But I was slightly convinced to get the entire group to sign the photograph, which I didn't get the hard copy autograph, and no, not the hard copy photograph, until like halfway through. And me and my friend were in the long queue. Obviously the longest queue was Katie Mannings and Anjali Mohindra. Actually, Anjali was the longest queue in my opinion. Anyway, so we were there. We were standing there. We were just about to get a, obviously we're getting for that. I said to myself, what should I have him sign on? Because I mean, when I was in Comic-Con, because I don't normally go to the person and ask for their autograph. I just want to, I just ask for a photograph. And then there's one time, when I was in Comic-Con with Annette Badland, who played Margaret in Doctor Who was also Babe in EastEnders, bring back Babe. Was it Babs? I don't know. But anyway, got there. Obviously, I got the photograph, and then even though I wasn't really an autograph person, she did sign an autograph, and it's a bit, beggars can't be choosy when it comes to like which photo do you want them to sign. So it was a bit, it was a bit sort of random. I didn't want to go that way with this one. So I thought maybe I should have them sign the photograph. I mean, even though when you got like a photo and you get like a pen, you write on it. Sometimes the writing ruins the picture, that sort of thing. I did have that concern, but I told myself, okay, just go for it. But it was only when we were like a couple of steps towards to Anjali herself, the staff came in and said, would you come this way, please? And she left the store. She literally left the stores just to go and have a little chat. And we were like, damn it, we were so close. We were just so close. But hey, I'm not angry. I'm not that mad. But obviously the answer to your question was, I didn't get any autographs because I didn't want to get any autographs. I just wanted a photo. But yeah, so yeah, that's the answer. I didn't get any autographs. And the longest queue was definitely Anjali and Katie Mannings. Which, speaking of which, Katie Manning, she's definitely not allocated. Again, like Elizabeth Sladen, because this comes later in one of the chats. Elizabeth Sladen's like one of those those people who never stays out of character, no matter what it is, whether she is struggling or whether she's happy, she never stays out of character on or off set. She stays in character because she is Sarah Jane. The same can be said with Katie Manning because, like I said in my Death of the Doctor review, she never stays out of character, and this is what proves me. Me and Sam, we were just down by the door because we were wondering what we were going to do, and then Katie Manning was only like a couple of steps away from me, and she was like going around hugging all the fans, just having a little chat, just say hello and then give them a hug. I really wanted her to say, "You are so gorgeous," because that's what Joe says in the episode, and it was as amazing as it was just to see Katie Manning right in front of you. It was also quite humorous just to see that she has never left character. She is Jo Grant, the same way Elizabeth Sladen was Sarah Jane, the same way Daniel Anthony is Clyde Lang. Just all the same way all those people are those characters. Obviously, I didn't want to go for her because I didn't want to disturb her. I mean, she looked like she was having a good time, but yeah, it was good. I guess I should talk about one of the panels because actually they had talks with obviously the kids. They had the talks with the ladies. They had a panel with K9, and then they had one with the Monsters and Mayhem. That was actually I wanted to go and see. I wanted to see the panel talk with Paul Mac-Davis, who plays the Trickster, Richard Briscoe, who played George, and one of the nun actresses. So that was pretty, I sat there and I had a good time. I just sat there while they're having a talk, and it was pretty amazing to see, because in my head I think to myself, how long did it take for the makeup on the Trickster? Which is actually what I asked him. And then Paul Mac-Davis said all this stuff like saying Trickster needs the toilet. that was pretty hilarious just to see this amazing. Like this one moment, it just says, hey Paul, how you doing? Do you need anything? Yes. Take me to the toilet. That's how he said. I'm sorry, that was a bit bad. Oh, it's pretty. You said there should be the DVD on. It should be on the DVD. Yes, they will be. I'm pretty sure they will be. There is a DVD coming. So those of you who haven't seen it, there is a DVD coming. So if obviously if you check on the if you check on their merchandise page, they'll have the production server. I'll leave a comment somewhere. I'll leave a link somewhere. But so anyway, obviously it was a nice little chat. Obviously we had Chris Johnson. Speaking of which, Chris Johnson. Oh my God, he was such a fun guy to be. He's such a nice guy, such a fun guy. I kind of saw him as a young Michael McIntyre. That's actually what I think because or maybe it's because I've been watching Centaur recently. But yeah, that's pretty much how I would describe Chris Johnson. He's like a young Michael McIntyre. He's got that so childish humor, which it's not that annoying. It's just relatable, likable, and obviously he does like all his impressions, which is really it's so silly. So anyway, I did ask a question at that panel. I meant to ask it to Paul Mac-Davis, who plays the Trickster, but for some reason I called him Richard, who was sitting next to him. So I accidentally said, Richard, how long did it take for you to get in all that makeup? And then they just said that's Paul. Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. And then obviously it was a bit of a ride. So I thought, okay, I'll get my way out of this. I'll pretend I'm asking all of them. So which was actually better than I expected, because I mean, it's nice to see the comparisons to getting to make it. Like Cheryl, who played the nun, said it took like half an hour, I think it was. With Richard, he had to like wear like a sort of some sort of scone over his head, because they had those type of haircuts in the war times. And obviously, this was my theorized answer. Paul said it took about 3 hours since, because he had to wear like stilts. He had to put like a giant cloak on the hood, and obviously the teeth, which was actually on display in the store. That was pretty nice. I think I should talk about all the props and managers. Okay, so obviously, when you step into the event, I should have said this at the beginning. When you step there, when you walk past the Sun Chief, and you see the merchandise store, as well as all the figures, like the ones that were never sold. You've got the action figures, you've got the novels, you've got the CD stories, the Big Finish adventures. And as well as, I think, were there any books? I think there were books. But on the other side, next to the window, was a long display of the costumes, all the way from Sinead Michael's clothes all the way to Mr. Dread's very tall suit. And it was just so nice to see all these outfits. I'm guessing were worn in so many shows. I mean, I was just looking at Sky's outfits, and they were so tiny. And I was thinking, I'm pretty sure that's what happened with all the cast. Because like everyone, like all the cast and all the fans, we all started as kids. We all started off small, and then as the years went on with the show, you get taller and taller and taller, and you get bigger and bigger and bigger. Which I'll talk about that in my final thoughts at the end of this video. But anyway, it was just it's obviously like walking in the Doctor Who experience. We see all the costumes, but to see them up close, but with this type of show, it was just so unbelievable. Even though, well, here's me talking about clothes. Come on. So yeah, there were some of them. I guess some of them were replicas. I think there were. Maybe there was props. Maybe the actual props. But obviously, some of the props they had the Trickster's mouth. No, there was his eyes. Yeah, they had the Trickster's eyes. They had the box, which was part of the whatever happened to Zero Jane. They had the box. Did they have any other props? I'm pretty sure they had other props. Did they have the lipstick or the phone or something like that? I don't know. Someone leave a comment below. So I'll so if I can remember. Well, obviously, some of you might be asking, did I buy anything? No, I didn't. I just bought the photo. This is so weird. Okay. What other comment there is? I should really point this out. I didn't really have a lot of questions on there. So note to self, publicize more. Okay, so Ollie Kirby 57. Hey Ollie. Okay, you've left your comment saying, since I started watching the Sarah Jane Adventures, I instantly wanted to meet all the cast until I discovered the attic. Yes, so did I. It was a good event, however, I felt it was a little disappointing, and I would have done the queuing system much differently. It was a shame that there were a few props and costumes were there, and the ones that were, I felt, weren't the common ones. Yeah, I kind of agree. As much as I really enjoyed being there, I will admit there were some moments where I think to myself, they haven't really organized that well. Okay, this is probably when I'm going to get nitpicky. Yeah, there were some, obviously, like the some of the panels, I guess, took a little too long. Maybe they were obviously they got sidetracked. I mean, like Katie Manning, she got sidetracked. There wasn't really much. I mean, it was nice. I mean, it was nice to see the guests, but obviously, I agree, there wasn't really that much happening or going on. So, yeah, I kind of agree. I do wish there were some props. I mean, I'm not saying like have the costumes of all the monsters, because I'm pretty sure they must have changed some of the costume outfits into something for Doctor Who or Wizards vs. Aliens, which actually took over. But yeah, I have to admit, I was expecting maybe a little bit more. Anyway, I'm going to continue with this. It was Unfortunately, the only main character I met was Yasmin Sinead, whose autograph I couldn't get because I was cut out of the queue. Really? That's a real shame. It would be good to see the event return, but it would have to be more organized. It was cool to see the shop permanently open and profits to continuously donate to TFN. Yes, I fully agree. Even though the event wasn't really that much, I'm still glad I went. it was still nice to see how many people turned up. It was still nice to see how many people put their faith and love into this event, because I'm pretty sure there must have been like so many people who worked on the Sarah J Avengers who really wanted to meet each other. So it's the same way I sort of feel, because I think to myself, if I go down, maybe I might meet some other YouTubers, which I think I did. Well, there were some other YouTubers that were there, Richard Lloyd, and obviously like Epic Who, Tom Dix, Zach Attree. Richard Lloyd was there, but I couldn't see him anywhere. So yeah, and then there was some I didn't expect, like this is one. When I was walking down one of the autograph sections, one of the lines, I was just walking down the side, and then someone dressed in a David Tennant outfit, he just said, "Hey, I know you. Do you know who I am?" And I was like, "Oh, who are you?" And I said, and he said, I wrote your story for Effie. I was like, "Oh, hello, which one?" And he said the cigarette story. And I was like, "Oh, okay. So those of you who don't know, this person, Jonathan Who, he was at the event. His story is going to be in one of the my upcoming series too at FAs." But it was really nice to see that person. And then straight after that, now this is probably, I mean, aside from taking a photo with all the people, just to see all the people together, just have a photograph of the cast and crew. This is probably one of the most memorable moments of the day. I was walking along, I was in the queue, I was just walking about, and then this little boy just tapped me on my arm. I looked down, and he said, "Can I have your autograph?" And I just froze, because I'm pretty sure he mistook me for someone else. So, but I didn't want to say yes, because I was pretty sure, because I thought he would have meant someone else. But I didn't want to say no, because I didn't want to crush. I didn't want to, disappoint him. So instead, without thinking, I said, "Okay, why?" Which I'm pretty sure that, I don't think he would ask a kid that. But he said, "You're a YouTuber, right? I watch your videos." And oh my God, that was like, oh, okay, of course. So like a good person, I took his book. I asked him what his name was. He gave me his name. I'm not going to say his name because, well, I want to protect his privacy. So I signed so I gave him the autograph and I gave it back to him. So whoever that kid is, because I know your name, but if you are watching this video right now, I just want to say, you made my day. Thank you so much, and I hope you had a really good time, because I'm pretty sure you had a really good time. So yeah, that was nice. Okay, I'm going to see if I can look at some of your comments on the live chat, see what your thoughts were. I think I might have answered some of them. If I can just scroll up, okay. So who was the surprise guest? Was it John Leeson? Yes, it was. Yeah, the surprise guests were John Leeson, the voice of K9, and Matt Irvan, who was, I'm guessing he was the one who controlled K9. Yes, he was. And I was really surprised when Chris was the mayor. Well, maybe not, maybe not massively, but still. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting Chris Johnson to be there, but at the same time, I'm glad he was there. And saying, okay, yes, and did the others, yeah. Did you see the costume? Yes, I did. Disappointing, yes, it was. Shame. And were the monsters supposedly walking about? Well, there was the Shan-Chi who was worried about, like I mentioned earlier. I don't know who was in that outfit, who designed it, but they deserve it. Get those guys a job, because they deserve it. What is your favorite SJA story? Well, if you've seen my attic reviews and you've seen my top 10 episodes, you would see that my favorite episode is Goodbye, Sarah Jane Smith. And because even though, because that it was actually a very tough decision, because it was between that one and the wedding of Sarah Jane Smith. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked Death of the Doctor, but wedding of Sarah Jane Smith pretty much seemed like the like a sort of Sarah Jane story. Because even though I enjoyed Matt Smith in Death of the Doctor, I didn't really think he felt in place. I didn't think he felt he had a presence in the episode, which is fine, because it's Sarah Jane's show. Even though the wedding of Sarah Jane Smith was Sarah Jane's story, David, the Doctor, still had a presence. He's still there to be part of the story. And we understand why. And obviously, and it had everything we got. We had a good story, emotional moments, and a very well made ending scene for both Sarah Jane and the Doctor in the TARDIS. So that was nice. But goodbye, Sarah Jane Smith. If you want to know more information on this, check out my top 10 SJA episodes video. But with goodbye, Sarah Jane Smith, because that was pretty much what really got to me about what I think about the Sarah Jane Adventures. Because to me, it is a life experience. The same with this event, and the reason why they're raising money for Ter Hafen, the charity. It's a life experience, not just for kids or adults. It's for everyone. Everyone has a life experience, and goodbye, Sarah Jane Smith, just proved it. Because with all the for more information, just but yeah, to me, goodbye, Sarah Jane Smith was pretty much when the characters, the events, the stories, the monsters, just everything about the show became real. So I'll end it there. Okay, so where was I? There's some of your comments you'd like to hear more. Oh, okay, shame. Yeah, who edited? Shame Danny never came. Yeah, it was a real shame, but but actually, I did like how they they had like a little. That was actually really fun because when we got there, they were giving out. Just leave a comment if you do. Who here collects Funko toys? I mean, I don't understand why, but who collects them? Because I'm pretty sure those were brand new. I'm pretty sure they must have just released them by now. They gave all the guests a Funko version of themselves, and because Danny wasn't there, Chris decided to take the toy and put it in a chair with a microphone. That was that was really good. I just every time saying, "Oh, I wish Danny wasn't there," they always say, "He is here. He's in the chair." It's just it was just so weird. But yeah, I really do wish Daniel did come. But I mean you can't blame him. I mean, because he was doing something. Because I mean, it's because one time I was at the BBC, the Rolf Lock Studios tour, not the TARDIS one. This was like years ago. Me and Sam were on the studio tour, and it was at the same time it was lunchtime for the whole Be Your Casualty people. And then Sam said, "That's Danny Anthony." I was like, "Oh my God, it is. It's Clyde Langer." And so you can't really blame Daniel for not being there because obviously he left comments out saying that he really wished he was there. And obviously for someone like him, because look at how far he's gone now. It's amazing how the Sarah Jane Adventures has really, really given these people the opportunity. Like with Tommy Knight, we then saw him in Waterloo Road. With Angeli, we see her in like Tudor, Georgian, Victorian TV shows. And with Dan Anthony, we see him probably in everything, really. Sinead Michael, not really sure. But yeah, the same with Yasmin Page. Even though she was in something that wasn't really my thing, it was nice to see where she had gone after the Sarah Jane Adventures. So it's the same with all the other characters. Like Paul Mac Davis, he did the Shadow King in Class. So yeah, that turned out all right. But yeah, and the same with Richard Whisker, who people now know him in Tracy Beaker. So it's so it's the same with Doctor Who and the same with other BBC shows. It's amazing to see how these shows have really touched these people, how much they've put their heart and soul into something they loved, and then just to see them doing something because of that. I mean, that's pretty much what it's got to me. Because like with because it was because of shows like Doctor Who, Sarah Jane, Torchwood, just BBC stuff, even youth theatre groups I go to, even some projects I go to, it's because of them I'm doing this. It's because of them I have the confidence to do something I want to try out, whether it's acting, animating, filmmaking, or even YouTubing. It's amazing to see how much all of that has inspired me, and this one inspires me as well. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sorry that I'm getting sidetracked. Oh, hang on. There's something I want to talk about here. The Gameathon. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, what's this? You know some of the cast personally. Nice. No, I don't blame you if you do. Good job. So anyway, the Gameathon. For those of you who might know, this must have been before they do the show. They held on CBBC. Luke, Clyde, and Ronnie. They would do like this little game event. Oh, you could do. They did like this little event when they do like they do like these little activities, and the winner gets like a little colored band or flag, while the losers get to be in a cage. This was something similar. Well, obviously they didn't put them in the cages, but this was actually, it's kind of like a miniaturized sports day kind of event. I'm not gonna give full details on who the winner was, but it was just such a laugh. Just to have all these people crowded around this little racetrack, and then just to see them have fun. Just to cheer for some of the people and just to see how they would react in the games. With Chris as the commentator, it was just it was such a laugh. We even got Mina Amor just came down just to join in, and that was even more enjoyable. They even got one of the fans who was on the stage, who I'm guessing she was an expert in some sports. She was there, and then they just just give them advice, and then they just switch places with that person just to take that person's place. And that was actually it was actually very enjoyable. It's nice to see how some fans or the audience can still interact with the people and no one gets into trouble. It's weird. I'm sorry. I really should write these notes down. But yeah, the Gameathon was probably one of the coolest moments, one of the fun moments. And it was also nice to see how these kids would do in a sort of sports related activity. Which, come to think of it, people are saying, "Oh, I wish Danny was there." Well, this is probably one of the moments where I think, yeah, I really do wish Danny was here, because as much as I did enjoy seeing Tommy, Angeli, Yasmin, Mina involved in all these activities, there were parts of me thinking, what would have happened if Daniel did turn up? And I'm pretty sure he would have had a really good time with this little activity. So yeah, that was also a good time. If you'd like to have see what it looked like once I do like a proper scripted video of this, or maybe just like a slideshow or something like that, I would put on photos from my phone, maybe some clips if there are any clips, or you can check out Epic Who or Richard Lloyd or just any other person's vlog video of that event, and you can see what happened as of it, because it was such a fun time. Okay, okay, what's the time now? 7:45. Okay, I could do another 20 minutes. Okay, it's because I've been involved in these live streams before, and they always take like 2 hours. This isn't going to take too long. So I have like 20 minutes left. So those of you who want to leave a question or leave your thought, or please give me a question, just leave them in the comments or put on the live chat, because I don't normally do this. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can talk. What else can I talk about? Oh yes, this one. After the Gameathon, even though I was thinking to myself, I want to go and try and get an autograph with some of the people. Sam wanted to stay behind, because straight after the Gameathon was a chat with K9, and it was with John Leeson and Matt Irvin, who controlled K9. So I thought, okay, I'll stay here. And John Leeson was just he's such a nice guy. And throughout most of the chat, it was just so nice to see. The same with Kate Manning. There's always moments where he does the K9 voice. I was also kind of thinking to myself, to ask a question like, where did the voice of K9 come from? I mean, I know there was going to be a joke saying it came from John Leeson, but I would have asked him why that voice. Because I mean, when you look at a robot dog, you would get something like electronic, but with that, it's just like a high pitched. It's something like a high pitched voice and an amazing sort of tone, just like that. it's just so nice. You know, that's the voice you would think it sounds annoying, but it's not because it's likable. Just that type of voice. I wanted to ask I wanted to ask him where did that voice come from? Like, what inspired him to do that voice? But I obviously I didn't ask him. But it was actually nice to see how they controlled K9. Like, obviously, this is probably going to spoil some people. Like, he would say he did the voice in the recording studio, and Matt would control the model on the set, but he would also read K9's lines along with John Leesing. I would have thought they would have played the I would have thought they would have played the audio in front like they did with Merlin, but I guess because, well, budget. But yeah, it was nice to see how they controlled K9 on the set. So it was nice. Okay, what's this coming here? Alfie Horner. Okay, hey guys. How would you think Sarah Jane Adventures would be like in 2017 if Liz didn't pass? Also, thoughts, K9, Timequake. Okay, I'm gonna answer K9 first. Okay, first off, I didn't watch that show. Reason being was it's not K9. I mean, I know it's got the name and it's a sort of advanced version of it, but it's not K9. It's not even in the Doctor Who universe. It's like taking shall we say Chewbacca, and then you put him in something like the Addams Family. Even though it's the same character, it just doesn't. It just kind of doesn't work. There are some other examples I could give, but I can't quite remember them on the top of my head. But it's something like that, because even though as much as I think it would be nice to see a K9 spin-off, I don't think it would be the same if it was in a different word. I mean, when you look at Class for a second, if you take a look at Class, even though it is technically a Doctor Who spin-off, this obviously it's got like Peter Capaldi, it's got the TARDIS, and there are some it had the Headmaster, it's got the Weeping Angels now. Spoilers. But when you look at it another way, what other moment is there that makes you think it's a Doctor Who spin-off? Because with Torchwood, it's in Cardiff because it's got the Rift, it's got Captain Jack, it's got the Cyber Woman, it's got all the stuff related to Doctor Who. Even had Martha Jones come in, and with Sarah Jane, we had Sontarans, we had the Jadoon, we had this Levine. We even had the Doctor pop in now and then. Even the Trickster, which then became a popular character in the show, which they did mention. They created the Trickster's Brigade, which was mentioned in Doctor Who. And like you said, it was nice to see him working with the Trickster in the episode. Class almost has none of that. I mean, the only thing it's got is the name of the school, the Doctor appearing for only one scene, and the Weeping Angels appearing at the end of the series, which I think if they had it, the Weeping Angels before Class, before the finale, maybe it would possibly be more exciting. I mean, even though I do wish Series 2 of Class was happening, because I would really like to see the Weeping Angels in Class. But so basically, I'm going off track. The easiest answer is I haven't seen K9 Timequake, and I don't think I will. So there you go. And your other question: how would you think Sarah Jane would be like in 2017? I don't know. Because if you have seen my Untold Stories video, they said they were going to continue the show in the countryside. Sarah Jane and Mr. Smith in the countryside. I don't think it would work. Just because, obviously, like I said, Sarah Jane lives in Bannerman Road. And if she doesn't live in Bannerman Road, it's not Sarah Jane. It's not Sarah Jane Adventures. It's not the show. And as much as I think it really would be nice to see more adventures, even if it's not on television, maybe if it was on CD or graphic novels or comic books. Actually, they should actually novelize those Untold Stories. I mean, obviously they turned one into Wizards vs. Aliens episode, but you get the idea of what I mean by that. I kind of think it would possibly outgrow me just a little bit. I mean, take a look at Wizards versus Aliens, the show that came after Sarah Jane Smith, the Sarah Jane Adventures. Obviously, it was meant to replace, so yeah, obviously to replace the show. And even though it was its own thing, you cannot look at it and think that it's meant to be the Sarah Jane Adventures. Don't get me wrong, I did like Wizards versus Aliens, but the first one I thought was okay. Second one I thought was really, really great. But then you get like the third series, and at the time, I was in college, maybe starting uni, and I started to lose interest in that show. So yeah, I started losing interest in it. So because I'm pretty sure, even though I know I would never stop watching Sarah Jane Adventures, but to be honest, I think it was about the right time for them to end it right there. Even if they did end it on series 4, I would be fine. I'd be happy. Even if they did finish series 5, I think it would have been perfect just to end there and just have all the other untold stories like side missions or anything like that. So, but yeah, I guess that's the only way I can answer it. So either I would like it or I would outgrow it. So it's hard to tell. And I just noticed your comment. It's an upcoming film by the creators of K9, Battling Omega. Is it? Oh yeah, I did hear there was word about a K9 film coming up. If that does happen, maybe I might watch it. I don't know. Battling Omega, that might be something. I don't think it's going to come out in 2017. Probably 18 or 19. I don't know. But yeah, if they can manage to pull it off, it might be fine. But still, by my last remark, I don't think it would be the same as seeing K9 in Sarah Jane, because K9 is, obviously K9 is with Sarah Jane, so the same way the TARDIS is with the Doctor, that you just can't break them apart. Okay, Artist Joseph, hey guy, who is your favorite SJA companion, and what is your favorite thing about them? Well, I guess, well, for New Who, I would say my favorite companion in New Who is Donna Noble, because when you look at all the other companions, they all have that sort of, running storyline that this is the person who loves the Doctor, who wants to marry the Doctor, wants to kiss the Doctor, wants to hang out with the Doctor. But with Donna, like with Rose, it's like she wants to marry the Doctor. With Martha, she loves the Doctor, but the Doctor doesn't love her back. With Amy, even though she's married to Rory, there was a moment in which she was hitting on the Doctor, but obviously she stayed loyal to Rory. And with Clara, she started off wanting to the Doctor, until he turned into Capaldi. So yeah, but Donna was someone was like your best friend, was someone you would want to hang out with, and someone you want to hang out with no matter how crazy or how boring or just because and Catherine Tate, she really pulls Donna off, because there was, even though I thought she was okay in Runaway Bride, finding out she was going to return, I thought, okay, this might be interesting. And then to see her in series 4 was just, I could never stop watching her in series 4. She was such a great character, and I was really heartbroken when she had to leave the Doctor. For those of you who haven't seen it, so yeah. But I think, but the obvious question for me is, if it was like a classic Doctor Who companion, I guess it would either have to be possibly maybe Romana too, but no. Obviously Sarah Jane is the one companion, and I've only just discovered, I looked at all the classic episodes I've looked at, and they all had Sarah Jane in it. So like Genesis of the Daleks, The Hand of Fear, The Time Warrior, just all the notable Doctor Who episodes you can think of. all had Sarah Jane in them. So yeah, and obviously, well, obviously when I first saw Sarah Jane in School Reunion, obviously I didn't know who she was. All I knew that she knew the Doctor, and even though I didn't know much about her, I still liked her. I still liked this character, and I wanted to see a bit more of her. And then to find out she actually got her show, and then she was going to return in series 4 and all that, I really started loving this character. I really, really wanted to see that character. Like some of you managed to see Liz when she was alive, and if you did, thumbs up. Well done. Good job. I'm jealous. But yeah, but yeah, obviously, I guess we can all say Sarah Jane was the best companion. New Who, Donna, old classic, Sarah Jane. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just read favorite essay, Jacob. I do apologize. I got sidetracked. Definitely Clyde. I mean, well, either Clyde or Ronnie. Just any of those people, just any of them, because they're really both. I mean, Clyde. Clyde is that. He's that sort of guy you really want to hang out with, just play games, just go out and have a little talk, go see a film with. And Ronnie's like the female version of Clyde, but toned down a little bit. That's what I'm gonna say. And I really did like how these characters progressed in the show. Like with Clyde, he started off being like this sort, this like, hey, okay, yeah, I'm a little joke in the pack. I'm like this sort of bad jock boy, the guy who makes jokes. Hey, I'm cool. But then when he meets Sarah Jane, he starts to become this really emotional character. This character like Curse of Clyde Lana really put Clyde at the highest stakes, and that's why it's one of my favorite episodes. And with Ronnie, obviously she started off as someone who wants to become a journalist, and then Sarah Jane helped her to see the world in a different way, which that's pretty much what that show did to me, because it's like I'm a male version of Ronnie, and Sarah Jane has shown me the world in a different way, and it's beautiful. Well, not today, but it is beautiful. Yeah. Your favorite character is Clyde? Yep. You companion is Doctor? Yep. Favorite class? Yep, of course. Alfie Horner, you said the only thing I'm gonna hate is that maybe set like that crappy K9 zip. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Okay. What else should I talk about? Oh yes, this thing, because okay. So obviously, as the day went on in the convention, Simon and I were thinking, should we go? I mean, we've pretty much done what we need. I mean, the lines are really long because obviously we didn't get an autograph. So we were thinking maybe we should go. So we thought, okay, we'll just go. We didn't. So obviously we didn't stay behind for the farewell at the end, which I'm pretty sure was, if for those of you who have seen what happened at the farewell at the end of the day, it must have been one of the most saddest but really good moments of the moment. So obviously we said goodbye to some of the staff, and then when we said thank you for today to Chris Johnson, he suggested we would stay for the My Sarah Jane Smith chat panel, which was to have Brian Miller, who was Elizabeth Sladen's husband. He turned up late. Obviously, he turned up late. And Gary Russo, who was one of the writers, and yeah, he was one of the writers of the show. So we went. So me and Sam, we went downstairs. We went down to the hall. It's a little tour, and it was actually nice to see, learn a bit more about Elizabeth Sladen in this thing. Obviously, like I mentioned before, they were saying that, like when during filming, like they say, during filming, when it came to like lunch breaks or anything like that, most people would go to a canteen area or they would go outside, go off set. But Elizabeth Sladen stayed on the set just so she can stay in character, and it was really nice to see it coming from Gary or just Brian, just to see how much this person is really, really got connected to the show, and like what they said, like they said, sorry, I'm going to sidetrack. Oh man, the only thing I got in my head. They said like the reason why there aren't that many Sarah Jane action figures was because Elizabeth Sladen didn't like the face. They had this little conversation saying that the reason they didn't have that many action figures of Sarah Jane was because she didn't like the face because it wasn't her face. So obviously they had like a long row of different faces, and it's like one of those little stores when you got like a long line of outfits, you have to go along and pick which one's the right one. Um, so obviously, um, they picked the one which we then got. And obviously, they said the reason they didn't make them into figures was something along the lines of it's not the characters, it doesn't look like them, it's not them. Which actually I can understand because I mean, when you look at like an action figure of someone you watch on television, you see them on the figure and it looks nothing like them. So I can imagine why they had to cut it down. I'm guessing also because it didn't sell well, but obviously I can understand where they were going for like if you looked like at an action figure for a real person, you really wouldn't think they were the exact person. They even said they didn't even get the clothes right. I thought to myself, which ones? Which figure didn't they get the clothes right on? So that was pretty much a little laugh. And then this bit when they were talking about when they filmed the series 4 finale, which was then heading to series 5, that they said by the time series 4 ended, she was getting really, really tired, which is actually one of the darkest, one of the sad sides of working on television or film or doing fame and fortune. That sort of thing. It really drains you out, and I should know because I've worked on a couple of work experiences and some other projects, and it really drains me. And they said that she was really, really ill. Obviously, as I said in my reviews, that she was really, really ill. And but the reason she didn't end the show, the reason she kept going was because she did it for the fans. And which is obviously which is and I think myself, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy are saying for the fans, yes, for the fans, and it pretty much shows how much committed to the role of Sarah Jane that this that this person, this character that we've really gone attached to for all the 10 years is really not only has touched the hearts of so many people, but it's also made her heart, should we say, 2 sizes too big. And and then obviously when they said the sad news, obviously there were conversations on like whether the show would continue without Sarah Jane, but they all agreed that Sarah Jane was the heart of the show, and they couldn't continue without her. And this was probably one of the nicest lines I've heard Brian Miller say, saying that everyone knows her as Sarah Jane, but he knew her as another woman, another person. And it was his Sarah Jane, his wife, the mother of his daughter, the person he's lived his whole life with. They even said that when they really worked well because he appears as Harry in the Mad Woman in the Attic. They even say, even though he said it wasn't off-putting since they were husband and wife, but it's because they knew each other since drama school, as he says. They knew each other and they worked with each other. It was just, obviously you can tell how much they really meant to each other. They were not just husband and wife. They were friends, partners, colleagues, which I guess in a way is pretty much what you can think of this show, of this event. That no matter, it doesn't matter whether it's a show or it's a TV show, whether it's just a show for kids or adults, it's still part of you. When you watch this show, when you see these characters, when you go to this event, it never leaves you. Just this one moment, it never leaves you, but it inspires you. It gives you the confidence and the it gives you the confidence just to go out there and do something. Which is why, I guess you can say I guess what I'm trying to say is stuff like this event. Obviously, this was an event for Tia Harfan, which was to help children. It was to help families, which is what this show was, a family show. But it was also real. And it was just, you realize that they were more than just a kids show. They were real people. They were a family. They were your friends. They were your colleagues. And I guess in this time now, with all the problems in the world, we need something like Sarah Jane. We need someone like Elizabeth Sladen. We need something like the Sarah Jane Adventures. We need a place like Bannon Road. We need something to be positive. Because even though there's probably like a lot of negative right now, there's always something to be positive about. We need to be positive. And that's what this show has done. Even in the darkest of places, it still makes us happy, and it still makes us positive, confident, brave, loyal, friendly, which is what we need right now. So, sorry about that. Okay, what's the time now? Oh, it's 10 past. So obviously that happened, and obviously we decided to leave, even though. So we didn't stay behind for the farewell. So even me or Sam don't know what happened, but it was still a really good time. Even though I didn't spend it most of the time, I'm so glad I went. Even though there was stuff to be improved, I'm still glad I went. I'm still glad I bought that ticket. I'm still glad I went. I'm so glad I met those people. So I guess I should end there. I really should get So thank you guys so much for joining me. This was probably the first live stream I've ever done. I don't know whether I'm going to be doing more of these, but possibly for a QA or something. But yeah, if you want me to do more of these live streams, then feel free to leave a comment below. So I'm just going to end it there. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Be sure to leave a comment, like, and share this video. And if you have seen this event, what did you think about it? And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll answer them some other time, or just send me a message. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Let's ride.